And I'm glad, Green, that you brought that up, because in speedrunning, it's like some people are like, oh, you should. Some people are Team Billy, right? And they're Team Billy Mitchell, and they're like, you shouldn't talk about it at all. Like, other people are like, oh, he's just like. Here's the thing: I remember watching Billy play live and seeing live streams of him doing this shit at events. I think Billy Mitchell is more than capable of playing the game. And a lot of people say, well, he got the record on MAME. Does it matter if it's arcade or MAME? If he can do it on MAME, he can do it on arcade.
All
Like,
right,
you know what I'm
I'm
saying?
now
Yeah, it's
streaming
a little
again.
different, but it's like I'm kind of team in between, and maybe it's because I was a fan of his. Like, but I still disagree with playing on MAME, playing on emulation, and saying you were playing on console.
I mean,
Because it's
it
different leaderboards.
isn't that a whole debate in the speedrun community whether or not whether or not you should be able to, whether or not you should be able to use an emulator or not?
Yeah,
Well,
because
I
sometimes. Go ahead, Green.
I was gonna say, like, I always think they should split the consoles and emulators, just because some people can't afford like a lot of this stuff, especially with GameCube, how big the prices are on. So, for example, if someone wanted to speed like Luigi's Mansion, do you know how much that costs to get a GameCube and a game of Luigi's Mansion? Not only that, but like memory cards and stuff like that, controllers, cost a lot of
Yeah,
money.
I have to agree there. I'm sorry. He has a like. Okay, I'm looking at my PlayStation library right now, right? So my Speedrun Shinobi and Nightshade copy, right? Both of those, I got those brand new. Right now, to buy a copy would still probably be like 20 or 30 bucks, even though it's on the PS2. So, and they're not big titles. So I want you to imagine what he's saying is right. Think about GameCube. Think about how popular some of those games are. You could probably find a cheap version for maybe $40, but that's pretty much brand new price. That's 20 bucks off,
There are
because a
some
lot of
games.
the people that have these games don't want to let them go for cheap.
There are
Right.
some games that like sell for over 120 easily in GameCube.
Yeah. I
So
mean, look
like
at
a
the
Like
copy
Dark
Pokemon
of
games;
Cloud,
they still
Rapunzel.
sell for quite a bit.
like Dark Cloud, right? I have it for the PS2, one of the best games ever made, hands down. But it's a copy of that, a physical copy of that costs a lot of money, and I still have it. But the problem is that like people don't understand. Like it's hard to tell people that they have to play on an original console. I still have two copies of Final Fantasy 9 because I used to speed run that. I have Final Fantasy 7. I have like the original Fable. I used to speed run Final Fantasy 13 and 13 too. So I have those for the PS3. I don't know if they've ever had a re-release. Nobody else likes those games. I'm the only one. Dragon Guard 3 I used to speed run, even though that is really difficult because it has frame rate drops which slow down your time. Um, but that's what I'm saying. Just looking at my old speedrun library that I have here, like Tales of Zillia, all these games used to speedrun, like looking at them, thinking about how much I'd spend having to buy a legitimate console and games. Come on, dude. You could just freaking emulate it, bro. Like you're still putting in a fast time. You still have to put in work. Yes, I know that sometimes certain computers can run certain things faster, whatever, but it's minimal differences. And I do agree that it does make a slight difference, but keep it a separate category. And I feel like most people would rather play on MAME. It's
Well,
just cheaper.
kind of on that
I mean,
same topic, it's like how sometimes you can have people and they'll play with amiibos and DLC, and it's like I can't afford those right now, so my runs are without the amiibos and without the DLC, but they have them separated into a different category.
Yeah.
I know that Mario 64, they have it where they split, and it's done well for years. Like, no one complains about it, and everyone keeps them separated.
Yeah, but see, the problem is that you have these purists who feel, and don't get me wrong, I still speedrun Utugi on an original Xbox controller on an original Xbox. However, that is because, generally speaking, there is no good original Xbox, emulator, and you could just play the games usually on PC. Part of the problem that I have, though, is I don't like the way that PS2 emulators work. I don't. I
They're
haven't. When I used to, yeah, when I used to speed run stuff like Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, or SMT3, If when I used to speedrun DDS, Digital Devil Saga, all these games, Shinobi, Nightshade, when I would speedrun these games on emulation, I would constantly have crashes in the middle of a live stream. I would, you know what I'm saying? Versus just pointing a camera at my TV, showing my controller, and saying, "Hey, this is a console." So I agree, console is easier. There's less
So do you have to
problems.
do that? Technically.
Yeah, you could just point your camera at the TV and submit footage that way. I mean, most of us have done that for years.
I mean, I'm holding it.
That's
I'm
why,
pointing it at my monitor right now. So at the end of the run, I can probably show that it's actually a
yeah,
console.
you can just show your controller and show, hey, I did in fact play this. This is my unmodded shit.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I'd start off by showing what my camera, my original Xbox, my controller, and then showing my TV and showing. Really, you just need. I'm going to be honest, because a lot of people use aftermarket controllers. As long as you don't use a turbo function, they don't care
Right. Well,
necessarily.
my Switch Pro controller doesn't have a turbo function because it's a cheap $25 one, so it doesn't have vibration or anything, but it works. Like it has all the buttons.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, generally speaking, if you're not using like a turbo or a broken function, to be honest with you, it really doesn't matter. I think speedrunning is more about dedication. The problem is, and I'm just being honest here about speedrunning, and the sad truth is that it used to be something that most of us who just like games would do. And then there was a group of extremists who didn't have any lives that, yeah, we spent most of our time playing these games, but like most of us still had lives. And then people with no lives took it on as an identity. Speedrunning is something you should do for fun.
Well, see, that's what happens
Something,
in other communities too, like the Yu-Gi-Oh community and the Magic. It's like people with no lives, like the people who are SJWs, then have no lives and live off of welfare and all that shit. They just started doing things for fun all the time, and that's kind of what it ended up.
yeah, it's like it becomes a thing where it's like, okay, I left the speedrunning community mostly because, and I had talked about this. I don't know if you remember, about what, almost 2 years ago now. I had talked about how I knew that there were people that were cheating, and I'd look at the footage they were submitting and seeing that it was spliced, and I'd look at it and I'd be like, how did you submit this run? And I questioned a few people who were accepting these runs, and it was always, oh no, it's fine. And then you find out that they're chummy chummy. When they visit each other's towns, they're going out to eat. Some of them are dating.
So
It was just
it's
really,
basically like bureaucracy in the gaming community, is what
That's
it's
yeah,
all.
being compared to.
it was lobbying essentially. Like,
That's
yeah, my time is fudged, but hey, I scratch your back, so
It's lobbying within the gaming community, which
I
yeah,
know.
that's one of the essential problems people find with our government. It's like it's too much money involved, you know.
yeah.
I
What were
know
you gonna
that.
say?
I was gonna say that in Links to the Past, it's something similar to that, where everyone basically were saying they ditched speedrun.com because the people who own the like who basically were the moderators for it were basically giving like this cheater that they knew who was cheating like the record like number one like holder for
Say,
that category,
you know
and they're
what's good?
basically like we're just gonna leave
You know what's
because
good about modern day
it's basically that.
speedrun.com?
What?
It's moderated by the people who run it. So
Well, yeah,
a bunch of people who run it, who run the that specific category will be the moderators.
Yeah,
So
but see,
they,
Twin Galaxy wasn't like that. Twin
well,
Galaxy had one of the problems that I had was because there's a few actual speed running sites that actually allow you to speed run and submit. Um, One of the problems that I had with Twin Galaxies, a company that I had looked up to for years, one of the things that really kind of screwed with me was that apparently some of the judges knew that this was cheating. They fudged evidence. They claimed that they saw speed runs happen that didn't actually ever happen. Like, it was really bad, dude.
yep. People were pissed because when the new guy took over, they took off all the fake speedruns and stuff like that, and
yeah.
people were really pissed, especially the ones that faked it. They're like, "Yo, we're gonna take you to court for ruining our name and taking
Yeah,
this
but you
off."
know
And
what
it's like,
makes me
Like,
mad
did you
though?
see it?
See,
Fucking Billy Mitchell tried to sue for $1 million, and it's like, bro, that's bullshit. You know you cheated.
but you know what the problem that I have? See, I still don't know. I think he just played MAME when he said he played standard, but guess what? He still got the score. And maybe I'm a bit of a fanboy there, but like I've seen Billy Mitchell play. I was at an event and I was watching him like play. So it's different for me. I've seen that he can. Like, so for me, it's like this is a question for people I feel that maybe just found out about Billy. For those of us that have been at events that have seen him play on an arcade machine right there in front of everyone, like, no, Billy has skills. The problem that I have is that Billy, the only issue I have, honestly, is that Billy lied. Like,
See, the
homie, I
thing,
know you can play, but like, why did you say that you played on arcade? See what I'm saying? When you played MAME, because that's a different submission.
you see,
That's a different submission.
Right, right,
what
right.
what I've noticed when it comes to a lot of, usually when it comes to the cheating and speedrunning, most of the time it's a guy who's pretty good at the game and could get it if he practiced hard enough, but they do it that one time or maybe twice, and then they get caught, but they still leave a life for it, where they come out, usually if you come out, if you say, okay, this and that happened, it was only this time, they're like, okay, we're gonna take off all your runs, and we'll give you another shot, though. You just can't do that anymore. But with someone like Billy Mitchell, he probably only did it like once or twice. I don't know the full extent, but he probably did do it a couple of times because he was just feeling lazy. He didn't want to do it. I don't know why. And then he didn't want to admit it, which made it even worse. And that's why everything's being taken down because everyone's like, "Yo, you're not even." Now we don't even know how much like you cheated. You won't come out and say that you did it when we know you did it. And it was just
But see,
all that.
here's the problem that I have with that at the same time is like I said, I don't have a problem with Billy Mitchell submitting that score because, obviously he can get that kind of a score. Let's be real here. My problem has more to do with the fact that he lied about it. Why? Like, I'll give you an example. Sometimes I would just live stream Utugi uncut, where I would take it and I would just play through my levels, excuse me, that I would speed run, and I would play through the whole entire game over and over again on like a 6 hour live stream, just running through the game over and over and over again, unedited. And I would just go back and rewatch and clip out the part that I wanted to submit, and then submit the original live stream as well so they could see all my attempts. But excuse me, I would only ever clip out the part that was the fastest, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my problem is that when you do that, there's a clear start of the recording and an end of the recording. To my knowledge, from what I saw, Billy Mitchell just submitted his score, and from what the evidence shows is that Billy Mitchell pretty much played this on MAME, not on original arcade hardware, right? But I didn't see or hear anybody say, well, he was splicing, or, so for me, it's like, did he cheat? Not really. He just submitted in the wrong category. And even if he doesn't want to admit that he submitted in the wrong category, that could happen. I've had times where one time I submitted, nobody was running MAME Utugi. And my point is, I accidentally submitted it as MAME. Nobody was playing Utugi, period. Me and two other people. But my point is, I submitted it as a MAME, and they were like, "Huh? What is this?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, sorry. I'm sorry. You're right. It was a console. I showed it was a console. I just typed in MAME because I was playing Pokemon on MAME." So my thing is that really the same? Is submitting it in the wrong format genuinely the same as, or as malicious, because it could have been an honest mistake? And is that the same as somebody who goes out there, right? And this is all I'm saying, and who splices run and cuts up footage. Maybe there's information I'm missing, but from what I originally saw, it was just, hey, here's Billy Mitchell, and he played on MAME and submitted it on console. You know? Like, it just to me it makes no sense, because it used to be, at least in my experience, you could say, hey, I made this mistake, switch the score over. Like, Twin Galaxies could have done that. Instead, Twin Galaxies took somebody that, many people came out and said can do this. You know what I'm saying? Can do this kind of a run. What the hell? We've seen him live since then.
Damn it.
What's going on? And then they said, oh, well, so did he really cheat, or did he just submit in the wrong category?
That's
And
a
even
good
if he
question.
intentionally submitted into the wrong category, is that even really all that big of a deal in compared to? And yes, I know you can change hardware and it can affect the way that the software runs and speeds,
Well, I
etc.
have to equip
But
the
let's
damn
be
shield.
real. We didn't even tell. We couldn't even tell by recording speed. Okay, we had to tell by the way that the frames loaded in, which means that otherwise we would have seen that it was sped up, and we've done that before through splicing. So it wasn't spliced. He wasn't running it super fast or anything like that. This was just a man, in my opinion, from what I've seen and what I know so far, that just submitted a MAME score, an emulated score on console,
I
on our
mean, so
consoles.
another thing that kind of added to this is, you know, the guy. Oh, what's his name? The guy who kind of came out against Billy Mitchell at first. What's his name?
Oh, he's a speedrunner himself. He has the toad from, or the mushroom person as
Right.
the
Not Easy Escape, but the other guy who's kind of
yeah.
related.
Apollo?
Yeah, Apollo Legend. And
Apollo Legend.
apparently, he's not as credible as people thought he was. Like, he's been getting himself into some serious shit with some other people and some serious drama and losing his credibility. So it leads me to believe, well, how much of what he said is actually true now? Especially after a professional lawyer came out and said, no, you can't sue Billy Mitchell. You don't have anything against him.
Yeah, it's not just that. Billy pretty much told him to shut the fuck up, and ended up suing him for defamation, I guess. I guess, and they settled it, and so he ended up giving Billy the rights to the score. I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying, look, if Billy did splice or cheat or whatever, hey, dude, that's fucked up. He deserves to have his score taken down. But if all Billy did was submit in the wrong category, that is not the same as someone faking a run. Like, honestly, dude, let's be honest. If that's the case, then what about all the runs where I clipped? Because I'm gonna be honest, like, what I used to do was I would clip like the end of the last run, maybe 5 minutes in, and then clip like 5 minutes over into the next run after I got a high score or whatever, right? And just submit that. So did that mean because I technically didn't show the entire live stream that I cheated? You know, or is it like the time that I submitted a console as a MAME and made an honest mistake, does that mean I cheated? Like, you know, I'm not saying, now don't get me wrong, again, I still think it's bullshit that Billy lied about it. You played MAME, who cares? You know, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I wouldn't even be mad. I am mad at Billy because it's like, dude, why not just be honest? If you played MAME, say, you know what, I played MAME, I submitted the score to, you know, because the fact is, at the end of the day, we don't know everything that went down. That's just the reality.
I mean,
But
also,
it's pretty
but
safe.
if you submitted it in the wrong category and still have all the records, why not just resubmit it in another category that you actually did?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they've already reviewed all this evidence and they've shown it, and Apollo Legend has taken it on to and showed it all, which he did, then okay, the real question then becomes, well, he still played it on MAME. So you see him playing it on MAME, just switch the category and pull his score off of standard and put it on MAME. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't take the man, because what Twin Galaxies did, they literally took down all of his records. And it's like, wait, that's not fair. We know for a fact that Todd Rogers, and this one really hurts because he did Dragster, and I remember being young and watching one of his documentaries and really getting into speedrunning from that. And it sucks, and I hate that he lied about it, but as it so turned out, it's impossible to get the time that he got.
Oh,
Okay,
hey,
Todd Rogers.
someone's in chat. Hi, Soggy Sam. Never seen you here before. You knew? I need to pay more attention to chat.
Yeah, you do. But yeah, it really frustrated me because it's like, okay, what Todd Rogers did in speedrunning was really messed up, dude. You falsified evidence, you edited video footage. You know, that is morally wrong. But if all Billy did was play on MAME, then switch the fucking score. Don't sit there and ruin this man's life.
Right.
You know? Like, Todd, dude, and I love Todd Rogers. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, the guy
Again,
seemed like he was pretty funny. Like, he seems like a pretty funny guy.
like, it makes me angry because it's like, does Billy deserve
To have
to
an
have
entire
his...
crusade go after him.
Yeah,
mean,
like, and a lot of these people have never seen him play live, and it's not that I'm trying to be a Billy Mitchell fanboy here. Far from it. Like, I would argue I was more of a a Twin Galaxy fanboy back in the day. But it's really frustrating for me because it's like, if all he didn't do what Todd Rogers did, right? And actually edit shit. If all he did was play on MAME, I don't see how he deserves to have his entire life ruined. Billy, if that's the case, then all Billy needs to do and should have been able to do is just submit the shit, you know, on, hey, it's an emulated run.
Right.
Switch the score over to another leaderboard. Like, it just really makes me angry because it's like you're ruin the lives of the people that deserve it, that actually lied, because Todd Rogers apparently, and this is the one that really hurts, Todd Rogers apparently used his friends at Twin Galaxies to help falsify the evidence of some of his runs.
Right.
And that's what really makes me mad, because it's like, so if Billy didn't do that, if Billy just played it on MAME on this score submission, and, you know, like, why is there a crusade against him? The whole thing just doesn't make sense to me. It feels like there's a personal vendetta there, maybe, in Twin Galaxies, and Twin Galaxies did switch ownership. I would like to point that out, and that caused a big shift. So it's like, is this just a vendetta because now that you own Twin Galaxies, you know, you're coming against Billy and Todd and everybody who helped build the brand? You know? Like, it just, there's so many questions I have, because when it happened with Todd, okay, he cheated, you know? But when it happened with Billy, it's like, well, something's different here. Both of these guys are champions, but one sat here and cheated his way. The other one is literally, because we know that Todd Rogers could not replicate, right? When we saw him try to attempt to replicate his dragster time, he couldn't. But Billy has replicated these kinds of scores before. That's the difference. He could come close to it, right? So it's like, wait a minute. Billy can come really damn close to that high score, but Todd can't come anywhere near to his. So it's a very frustrating thing for me, because something doesn't add up. And I had talked about how I didn't think it added up, and how I thought Apollo Legend might be wrong. And everybody was ganging up on Billy, and I got heat for that. People said, you're being a Billy fanboy.
But
And all my friends were like, what do you mean? Like, he's not a Billy fanboy. Like, I had a poster of Todd Rogers I got rid of.
Right.
And it just,
but now,
you know,
now with all this stuff at Twin Galaxies, like with this stuff about Twin Galaxies and Apollo Legend being questioned, you know. Although there was another YouTuber who, and I'm gonna criticize Billy for this, because there was another YouTuber who apparently Billy tried to sue for like 500 grand for mentioning him in his video. You know?
I mean, but that's just Billy. Like, that's Billy Mitchell. I mean, look, dude, I think at the end of the day, I mean, look, Billy is one of those people where he's famous. That's what famous people do.
Right.
Like, you've never been out in Hollywood, man, famous people. You know what the difference is? Like, most people haven't gotten famous like that off of video games, so they don't sue. When I was out in LA, one of the things you realize is, like, famous people sue each other all the time, and then they settle, right? Like he did with Apollo Legend. Like, it's more of a, hey, you're being a dick, keep in check. And part of it is because
Apollo Legend says he's still fighting him in court.
I don't know about that.
I haven't seen anything on his YouTube channel about him and Billy settling anything.
He literally came back just to be all like, after like what, like almost a year or something like that. All of a sudden he was like, "Yo, I'm back and we're taking Billy to court." And then he's like, "Well, I can't take him to court."
And then not only had that, but no, because Tipster covered it. Tipster even said that Apollo Legend submitted all his old videos talking shit about Billy to Billy. They settled because Billy put a lawsuit against him.
Yeah, I thought he said he was going to take the lawsuit to court.
No,
he had a
dude,
lawyer lined up. That's what he said in his public YouTube video.
No, listen, Apollo's wrong. Tipster already talked about it. And Apollo Legend had to submit those videos to Billy. Tipster actually talked about it on YouTube.
Interesting. So what you're saying is he's lying to his audiences.
I don't know whether or not Apollo thought he was lying or not. Maybe he was misinformed. I think part of the problem is that, again, I remember I went when I was younger to a Twin Galaxies. I was like a kid, but I remember watching Billy get, you know, a relatively high score. So for me, it's like, okay, you know, I've seen Billy, so I guess I think it's different for me, because my standard early on is if you can get close to that high. Like, I could pick up Utugi right now, and I promise you, right, I will get somewhere in the ballpark within 5 or 6 seconds of my old time once I figure out the controls again. Right? Give me like 20 minutes and I'll be able to work my way back to within 5, 6 seconds of my ideal times. And then give me a day or two and I'll be back at it. Why? Because I've speedrun it before, right? It's muscle memory and you start to remember. So, like, my thing is, like, again, if Billy has run close to these times before, if Billy has all these other scores and these other instances where he's gotten these very high scores and shown that he could, you know, there's a problem between, in my opinion, with treating him the same as Todd. And there's video evidence of Todd Rogers trying to get the dragster world record, and he can't do it.
He's
Even
making
with what's called a
excuses, you can
TAS, a
tell.
tool-assisted speed run, they could not get what Todd Roger had. So, you know what I'm saying? My problem is if Apollo is sitting here saying that Billy's in the same category, no, he's not. Billy Mitchell can actually play the fucking game.
Right.
That's the difference here. And so I don't think Billy cheated. I think it's possible that what Billy said, that he did not, because he did state he didn't know whether or not it was an official cabinet or not. That could be true. Maybe the cabinet was a MAME machine that was produced in another country and just looked like an official cabinet. Some people have suggested that could be true. I don't know. My point is, at the end of the day, I don't think that Billy was really trying to do this like the evil villain that they're painting him as, because he has the skill. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's a different than with Todd Rogers, where Todd Rogers always had an excuse. Billy has gotten close to those scores and gotten high scores in the presence of other people. Todd Rogers has never, ever, not once, gotten anywhere near close to the alleged score in Dragster that he once had. And it's like, homie, there's no way that that's possible. Because any one of us who speedruns will tell you, we may not be the fastest in the world, but we will get close after a couple days of practice, a few minutes of practice. You start to improve because you remember.
Hell,
Right.
even if it takes years, some people will catch up to that time. Because
Yeah.
because he had that time. There are probably other people who probably attempted to get that time, and even after years, someone would get close to that time, if not get that. Because you know how many speedruns are out there that people go, oh, this guy was a god, no one can beat that time. And then within, like, literal months to years, people are there and then already passed it.
Yeah, it's what we call the grow formula. So, for instance, I laid a path in Utugi and all the other Utugi speedrunners, right? So, I used some techniques that it kind of already existed and built on them. Then other people built on them. And then when I realized you only have to do X, X, and Y to actually complete this quest, okay, that means maybe I should try cutting this out. And so what happened is after I did that, hey, somebody else comes in, right, and says, okay, you cut this out, and you can also do this, or you can do this, and it's not a glitched run. So the way it works is that we always build off of each other, but a lot of times what will happen is those old best times will be a specific category. But they're always remembered. Like, even if somebody beat Billy Mitchell's time, big fucking whoop, guess who laid the groundwork for you to do it? Guess whose tapes you watched to learn how to do it? Billy Mitchell's, right? So it's one of those reasons why we it's like Nemissa, I believe is her name now. I can't remember. I think Narcissa Wright. I think now the person is a trans woman. Um, she originally, I guess when she was still a man, had done a Legend of Zelda speed run um, for Ocarina of Time, and it set records. And other people have set faster since then, sure, but does that mean that they're still the same? That they're still the same legend that she is? No, because she set the bar so high in her time period that it made other people say, how do we optimize what she did even further? And then they took her strat and dissected it and looked within the game's coding to find another answer. So I think we have to give credit where it's due. Like Todd Rogers, it turned out, didn't build anything, but Billy Mitchell did. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a problem with you going to a farm and seeing that the farmer hasn't planted any seed, watered any seed, and grown any crops and saying, hey, you're a bad farmer. I have a problem when you go to a farm and there's a guy there who may not be growing crop anymore, but he has a whole giant silo full of crop. You know, he's got a whole bunch of crop laying around that he's processing to sell, and you come up and say, oh, see, your field is empty. You see what I'm saying? You're a bad farmer. It doesn't work that way.
That's a good
And like
analogy.
it's like Billy Mitchell actually put in the work and could get the times. So why is it acquired people saying he's a has been? No, he put in the work, homie. You
See
only
if
know about speed running today because of him and Todd Rogers and
See if all of his times were legit and he truly doesn't know if that was like a meme or not, he should have probably just said, "Okay, I'm just going to either take this down or move it over," and just leave it at that. Because if in the end, if he doesn't really know, then he definitely shouldn't probably keep it up.
Right.
But he
well, I mean,
definitely should admit and be like, "Okay, yeah, I need to get this down or something."
right, but that's what I'm saying though. That I can understand. Hey, mate, you know what? Take it down off of the console, put it up on MAME, put it as a MAME time, put it where it belongs, right? I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm saying, is it wrong to try somebody who, you know, uh, may have made an honest mistake? He may not have known that that was a MAME machine. And is it the same? Is it fair to say that Billy did the same thing as somebody like Todd, who knowingly said, "I'm going to splice all this evidence and move all the these numbers around to show I got a faster time"? That's not the
Damn it.
same. And as a speedrunner, as somebody who does love speedrunning, and I'm not sure, Meryl. I know Kay was in my Utugi live. Maybe it was before, back when I did my Utugi live stream. I talked about how much it angered me on my final Utugi live stream. I got like a PB. I didn't get a record on it, but I was like, I'm gonna take a break from it because you can get burnt out,
Right.
speed running the same game. And I remember I said it. I said it makes me angry when people cheat in speed running. I said because I'm here showing my controller, showing my Xbox, showing my TV. I said, and these people go and instead of earning it like we are and live streaming it and genuinely putting forth the effort to feel good about saying, hey, I won, I earned this. I'm like, they're just coming in and splicing video footage together and taking away things like sponsorship deals,
Right.
things like recognition
Do you
for
follow
that some.
Small Ant One and that a lot of the Super Mario Odyssey speedrun community?
No, I mean I still follow some of the older guys like R White
Like,
Goose,
I like that
etc.
because a lot of it is like, oh, I have you beaten this category. Oh, give me a little while, I'll get faster at this category and beat you. And it's most people stream it, and you can't manipulate the evidence, and it's really sweet. It's really neat.
There,
Yeah,
yeah,
I feel like live stream is better. Yeah.
there was this one guy who live streamed himself playing Yoshi's Island, I believe it was, and it turns out he was so stupid that like he was cheating and he showed his controller, but his inputs didn't match with his controller, and he got outed and he went, "Yo, this is real," but literally when you're not pressing the exact same buttons that has been shown
Yeah.
that you're doing on the screen,
Well,
we
what we
think you
used to
cheat.
do, and this, see, that's what I'm saying. This is a pro tip. What you have to show one quick just run around with your controller showing that there's no off speed functions, no turbo mode. I would always do that, just run around, then restart the level
Controller,
or restart the game. So that way they could see me
console.
play the controller in
Yeah.
front of the TV so they could see that it's reacting and they could see my original Xbox. I would show my wiring, and I would never use a capture device so it was never questionable. That's what I'm saying though. Like, it's like I put in a lot of work for my speed runs. Not that I didn't even speed run for the recognition because let's be honest, I played a game that nobody played and that nobody gave a shit about. I did it because I enjoyed it and I enjoyed getting better at it. And so even though I'm not like a great professional speedrunner, I played it because it was fun for me to
Right.
improve. I enjoyed earning that new faster time. It felt good. The fact that somebody like Billy, who has had to work for his scores, is being compared to somebody who spliced, that frustrates me. Because I know that would make me very angry. And I could see why Billy would be sensitive about that. Like, I'm just being honest. If you were to tell me that my submission as this is main, um, as a console was me being malicious, it wasn't. It happens. You make mistakes. Like, not everyone's perfect. How many times have you made it? Like, think about it. Do you have malicious intent? Serious question. When you send a message and you misspell something and never try to correct it.
I
And I'm
mean,
not
I
saying
misspell things all the time.
But this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's exactly the same thing, but what if Billy just said, okay, hey, this looks like an official cabinet. I'm going to submit it as an official whatever.
I mean, I
Yeah.
definitely think there are some people who don't exactly know everything about maybe a console or something like that. Because there are multiple different like fake consoles or even cabinets probably out there that probably run exactly like the actual console itself, and then you'll just sit there. Maybe you're going out and you're like, okay, I'll go actually in real life and show myself playing the game, and then it turns out they got like personal best they PB'd,
Well, see, this
and
is
then all
why
of a sudden they didn't realize it was emulated, and because of that, they were just playing it because it was live, and maybe they were too nervous and they didn't realize it was live. I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying because I had that happen with a friend of mine who had a bootleg copy of Pokemon Red, Fire Red, that he didn't know was bootleg, and he set a time on it. Was it one of the best times? No. But somebody pointed out that something was off, and he was like, no, it's a copy that I bought online, and he didn't realize it. And he swore up and down. It wasn't until I got a hold of it and I looked at it, because you can tell whether or not it's a real cartridge, and I showed him my version of Fire Red, and he's like, holy shit, I was wrong. But it wasn't that he had malicious intent. He did not know. And
Yeah,
he literally, like, he didn't know, and he was like, I've made a terrible mistake. But he didn't know. Like, it really upsets me because it's like, are we really going to compare? I think comparing like somebody who stole a lollipop versus somebody who murdered someone is a bit extreme. And I think people got on a bandwagon of hate on for the sake of Billy Mitchell because they wanted somebody to hate. They wanted to villainize him, and see him dethroned because they lumped him in with Todd Rogers. I don't think that's right.
I mean that's always how it is, especially when it comes to a lot of communities. I know in the Smash community, people were hating on Mewtwo King for a while, and then they realized, oh shit, he wasn't in the wrong. People
Yeah.
just wanted someone. People just like hating people.
Right.
Drama just gets sold everywhere. And
Yeah, but see, I have
yeah,
a problem with it because I feel like it's I'm not saying this again to be a Billy suckass, but I've always kind of said it. You know, it seemed to me like people were just hating on Billy because it was popular to hate on Billy, and I think it put it into people's heads. We saw it in Cartoon Network. We saw it in the imagery, right? In that movie with Adam Sandler where they were trying to say, "Oh, look at Billy Mitchell's a cheater. He's controversial, blah blah blah." Well, yeah, if you put that in people's heads, right, through propaganda, and you put that in media, then you come out and say, oh, see, he put it on. Well, you can string any kind of story you want, and the masses are going to follow it, and the masses are just going to go ahead and say, oh yeah, hey, and I gotta pee real quick, so I'm gonna go. You guys entertain the people while I go pee.
Man, he's been ranting for about Billy Mitchell for like the past hour.
yeah,
Definitely speed run stuff tonight we're talking about. I want to go pee.
I mean, it's talking about speedrun stuff while I speedrun, so it seems fit.
yeah.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Speedruns are they're cool, but
Speaking of
it's
speedruns,
still
I had
super.
to restart this run. I messed it up really badly.
Yeah, I understand that. Sometimes it just isn't your run.
Yeah, like I kept trying to do something and I kept falling off the cliff. And I did it so many times, I'm like, I'm not PBing or doing anything beneficial, so I'm just gonna reset.
Back to that Link to the Past I was talking about. It was actually on modern day speedrun.com. The problem was the mods were allowing the guy to cheat because they were friends with him or something.
I mean, I think it
That's
depends
what I
on what
figured.
game it is, because I think with speedrun.com, the benefit of it being moderated by those who speedrun it can also be a bad thing, you know?
Good or bad. Yeah. I think that's one of the reasons why, like, usually it's fine, because usually when it comes to the big communities, obviously you kind of have to be, like, just straight up, because it'll be seen, like, real fast if someone's cheating. But
Right.
I've also noticed a bunch of small communities are also fine as well, just because my friend speedruns Sly Cooper, and he
Really,
knows all the mods
Sly
there,
Cooper's
and
a really
because
fun
it's a small
game. Sly
community, like
Cooper's
he
one I would
knows no one,
speedrun, definitely. In fact, I actually have an official console and cartridge that I could speedrun on.
Hmm.
See, part of my problem with speedrunning, I'm back, guys, by the way. Part of my problem with speedrunning, I think, is that people get into this concept of, you know, I don't know what goes through a person's head to say I'm going to cheat at this and cheat everybody else out of their hard-earned position. Um, I will say this: I think part of the problem is that in a smaller community, right, it's harder because we will scrutinize one another. And I feel like when you stream especially, and it's something that the other person plays, like if you're doing some shit with Utugi, if you're using a tool assisted bot, I can tell. You know what I'm saying? Like if
Right.
you were to try a tool assisted bot on the Xbox, you could tell, right? Because there's only certain ways that, like, humans play different than tool assisted bots. And like I think I remember what you were talking about, the guy who had the whole controls thing and it didn't match up. Like when you can't stick your controller in front of the screen to show what you're doing, you're cheating, in my opinion.
Right.
Like you should be able to
I mean,
show
I can do
either
that right now
controller
if I
cam and
wanted
show it
to.
matching up with movements.
Like,
Like that's why we do that. You
I mean, I
know?
can understand if someone's speedrunning, they're in the moment, like, okay, just wait until after this run's done, and I'll show you when I load into another game that is real.
well, I,
Because
I, I can literally just
sometimes
put my
like
controller in front of my camera if I want to.
Yeah, you can literally, yeah, but that's not really an excuse, and I'll tell you why, Green. Because you can literally always just raise up the controller and show the buttons while it is such muscle memory. The more you speed run a game, it will get to the point that if you're putting in a PB, the position of your controller does not fucking matter. I have want you to know I've put in PBs while eating a pizza slice while looking at the screen with one eye. And and one of my records for a Tugi, I was actually eating Cheetos off of a plate, sucking them off of a plate while I had the camera in front of me and I had my controller in front of the camera, and there was a small little table on the side or chair I was using as a table to suck the Cheetos off the plate because I was hungry. So if you are actually that good, stick the controller in front of the camera. Let me see. As long as the buttons match up, hey, good. If something looks off, we got a problem.
Or if something sounds off, you could probably tell, like, if someone's just button mashing instead of doing intricate things, you know?
Well, no, not really, because sound sometimes it can be
Mm.
tricky. Sometimes a button sticks and doesn't click back as fast, or it disconnects in time, but then it goes back a little slower because it's a favorite controller and it's got a little dirt in the buttons. So you can't really go by that. You can go by controller in front like of camera, but I mean generally speaking, like it's one of those things where we'll figure it out. We'll figure out you're cheating. We'll look at your footage and see that you spliced. But that's my big issue is I feel like in the modern day, right, there's not many people who are willing to honestly, I feel, just play the game and have fun. Like the point of
Right.
speedrunning is that you and your friends are on a live stream and you're talking shit to each other and you're playing a game and you're having fun.
I mean, like
See,
we're doing right now.
Yeah,
see
exactly.
the thing about the whole audio thing, I would also say the thing that debunks that as well is it depends on the mic and how they set it up. Because for all you
Yeah.
know, you could not hear any input coming from it, or like every now and then it
Oh, right,
cuts in.
because you can actually modify the sound so that you can't hear the button clicking, which is what a lot of people
Yeah.
Yeah.
do.
I mean, a lot of people do that on their mics. I personally don't. I feel like it adds something. But and I think this actually has got this episode has gone along long enough. Of this of my little podcast here. I probably should end this. But yeah, I mean, any final thoughts on the whole, state of the speed running? Because I've talked actually about the Merrill about well, obviously I have to get back into my old channel when this uploads. I'm gonna try to get it as soon as actually
I
we
do
get
have
done
one more
recording.
thing to say.
Go ahead. Anyways, seriously, any last thoughts on like the state of speedrunning? Because I do plan on getting back into speedrunning.
There aren't too many good communities left. I think Breath of the Wild has a really good community around it for speedrunning, like with people who can kind of just teach you and have fun. And
Well, I would actually. Oh, sorry, continue.
no, you're good.
I was gonna say I would disagree with that because It's actually gotten a lot better than it used to be back in like 2012, 2013, because people
Yeah,
came out was all like, "Yo, we need to get rid of these cheaters. They got rid of cheaters. We need to make it where you can actually go up and actually have decent people on the camera instead of people who get mad, yell. Who no one wants to see speedrun the game because all they're doing is sitting up there, basically saying, "Yeah, if you want to learn the game, learn it yourself, punk," and not trying to help anybody out. It's definitely got a lot better than it used to be. I definitely
yeah,
think
I
the community is
agree.
in a good state. There are some problems with some of the communities, but I think there are a fair amount of them in a good state right now.
See, I agree with that statement because I feel like one of the problems I have is I'm always more than happy to show you what I do and how I do it so you can learn and hopefully you'll beat my time. Like, and we can have fun trying to beat each other's times. And I don't really care whether you're better or not than me. I just want to have fun. Like, so for me, I was more than happy when other people were like, yo, this Utugi game is fun, I want to try it. And there was only like 15 of us at by the end of it that were trying to like go over the we were like the most pathetic 15 people in the world. But my point is we were having fun and it wasn't about having the fastest time. It was about self-improvement and sharing our secrets and how we improved. I have seen so many people who don't want to give away their secrets, and I think it's dumb. I think that it's counterintuitive. I feel like it kills the art of speedrunning, and I think that we should be more open with how we do things.
I think I would speedrun more if I actually had people like who were into like a same game as I was, and we were all like, "Yo, we're on the same skill level. Let's just do it." But
Like
and that's one of the
maybe
reasons
make
why
it a
I don't do
race.
it.
Like, oh, you're on yours, I'm on mine. Let's race. See who can get a better
I'm gonna
time.
be honest though. See, I'm gonna be honest. I've been thinking about just like sitting there and speed running Final Fantasy 7 or whatever on the channel, or learning how to speed run a new game or whatever, and do it on live stream for the channel or on live stream on Twitch. But like my biggest thing is at the end of the day, I think you gotta have fun. You have to have
Close the
fun.
door on your way
If
out.
you're not having fun, you know,
Yeah, I think
what's the
that's one of
point of
the
doing it?
I think that's one of the reasons why I keep going back to Mario 64 is I really want to speedrun the game because I enjoy the game. It's just there are so many little things like emulating it, freezing the controller for the N64 sucks. It kind of makes me not want to like do it, but I keep coming back to it because like the tricks are really fun to perform. Like they're so much fun. Just
Yeah,
sit
that's
there
like
and
me with
practice.
Utugi. Me with Utugi, it was a hack and slash game that had a lot of fun aspects and really cool categories. And I don't even know if it still even is a thing. I don't think anybody even cares about it anymore. Because it was well, the site now got taken down. I know the owner. He took it down long before then because people were cheating. And some of you, if you're one of the older speedrunners, you know the site I'm talking about. Um, but it got taken down when people started cheating in mass and submitting shit, and it was like, what's the fucking point? It ruined the fun for everyone. So if you're
Right.
gonna go out there and you're gonna, speed run, don't cheat, please. But I think that's gonna do it for this episode of the podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this very long episode of the podcast, which someone's gonna be like, it was all about defending Billy Mitchell. No, look, I'm still upset that he possibly may have lied. I can't say that he did though, because it's possible he didn't know. Um, it just is, dude. Like again, I've had an instance where a friend of mine thought he played Fire Red legitimately, and then found out, hey, you guys need to take my score down. But yeah, I mean, it just I thought that the whole thing was just the hate train going on from Todd Rogers, you know. And I think that that's stupid. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for me. You guys want to say goodbye?
Bye.
Bye
Check out my
bye.
channel.
Yeah, I will leave the links to Meryl's channel and Green's channel down in the description below.
I hope you do that because you always forget to do that.
I will do it. No, it's because YouTube wouldn't let me, and I
Oh,
don't know why. So I'm gonna try to leave the links to their description. If okay, so if it doesn't work in the description, I will leave the links down in the comments. Big brain.
big brain.
But it'll let me pin a comment, so I'll pin a comment if it's not in the description. If you don't see it in the comments, check the description first, technically. But yeah, guys, that is gonna do it. We love you. We will see you guys later. Remember, robot waifus are best
See, they
waifus.
don't know about the robot waifus unless they watch my stream.
They still know about the robot waifus. We talked about it a little bit, didn't we?
A little bit, not as much. You know,
Robot waifu.
we'll just start another podcast all about robot waifus.
No.
That could be a subject. Furries and robot waifus. That could be a podcast. Green, you want in on that one? I mean, listen.
When you just about kill yourself with a bomb.
I feel like Aqua would want in on that one.
Aqua would definitely want in on that one. Also, I'm on really good pace. Like, I did the first shrine so fast, and I did everything else pretty good.
I really wish that I would have recorded some of the Mario 64 speedruns I did. Because, like, they're so cool to, like, look back. Like, not, like... Because, like, I think it's cool to, like, look back at your, like, old... Like, that's one of the cool things about speedrunning is you can look back at, like, something you did, and you can look at it and go, wow, I may not be the best, but I ran this game in this time.
It's like you can look back at it and be like, I did this.
Like,
You know.
I managed to pull a 24 in a 16-star run, which may not be the best time, but for me, man, that beating Mario 64 in 24 minutes, pretty good in my opinion. But
Yeah, I can agree.
Didn't record it.
Hold on, I'm trying to get into this damn. Oh my god, this password should work.
Oh my god.
No, I'm serious, dude. This password should work. This is my old account. I don't think it got nicked.
Try the forgetting old password thing. Make a new one.
Oh shit, you're right. Let me see.
As long as you know, like, the answer to the question where they... Well, actually, is your YouTube channel hooked to your phone? Oh.
No, obviously not, but hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Oh shit. New password. Hold on, I gotta go to my Gmail.
Should be hooked up to your so you should be able to change it from there.
Let me see. Yeah, I used my phone number. Send me a text. Hold on. Okay, so that's my text. Let me see. I mean, if it works, it's a cheesy way, but if it lets me get in. Oh shit, I think it will. Hold on. Okay, so I've changed my password. Let me go back to YouTube. Okay, let me see. Yo, it actually worked. What do you know? I think. Hold on. Wait. Oh no, I gotta hold on. Let me put in the new
I
password.
mean, knowing
Wow.
you, it's gonna take 4 hours to upload.
Hold on. Let me see something. No, holy shit, it let me in.
So I gotta remember to upload my trailer for tomorrow.
You what?
What?
Apparently, this man still does channel trailers.
That's not a channel trailer.
It
Who
might as well
doesn't?
be.
Well, no, I was just reminding myself because I need to, because I'm having a new series start Monday and I made a trailer for it.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
really? What's the new series?
Super Mario World with my friend. We did a co-op playthrough of it.
Well, that's cool.
Oh.
Yeah. The same friend that we did, Super Metroid with. I think you know him.
Oh yeah. I remember that. That was dope. I
Uh-huh.
remember that series, dude. Why was it only 3 episodes? Well, I guess we did beat the game, but
It wasn't 3 episodes for Super Metroid.
it felt like it.
It was
Dude,
like...
it was hardly.
Dude,
It
it's
was.
8 episodes.
That's not that
Actually, no,
long though.
it's 7 episodes. I have a trailer in there as well. Forgot
That's what
about
I'm
that.
saying. Like, it's not like a super long playthrough. I was kind of
Well,
sad because I'm like, this is really cool.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing, though, is that, like, not everything can be long, especially Super Mario World. It's only gonna be, like, another 8 parts itself. It's just gonna be, like, for the fun of it. Like, you gotta enjoy, like, the short series while it lasts, man. I think that's one of the things that I'm working on with my new with the new things I'm doing on the channel is that instead of doing videos every single day of the same series, is that I want to make it where at least 3 days of that week, 'cause I'm only gonna be uploading 5 days a week, are gonna be for main Let's Plays. And then the other 2 days, Tuesdays and Thursdays, are either going to be some multiplayer thing or something else. Or it could be some new creative stuff that I want to implement in the future. And just go with that. So it's really going to mean, it means that I can take my actual Let's Plays, the actual Let's Plays themselves, take a little bit longer so that I don't get burnt out on them and I don't have to record them constantly to keep up with it. So,
I mean, that sounds like a good idea. Like
so
one of the
yeah.
reasons why I used to freaking just stop playing um a lot of like my Nuzlocks and shit was people complaining, trying to tell me like, "Oh, you should play this. You should." It's like, dude, just let me play how I want, and then I would get burnt out. You know what I'm saying? And it's like sometimes you just want to have fun. You
Yeah,
know?
I've noticed, like, generally my shorter series I've had the most fun with on this channel, like Super Metroid, so I just get because like they're like the extra stuff I didn't need to post. I just was like, I want to do it. It's fun, and I did it.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Pokemon,
Like the podcast for me is always fun because it's just us like being stupid. And
like
I
Pokemon.
like, oh wow, that came out wrong. Okay, no,
No,
like,
I think that
well,
is
I
the
guess yeah,
correct term for it.
I mean, I
yeah, I
got
think so.
I got to play through Pokemon Snap with my friend. It was his first time playing, and we 100%ed that game. That was pretty cool. And we only did that in like
We
4 parts.
should
So
do
it was
though,
kind of
seriously. I feel like me and Green should do because I'm always on like Meryl's live shoot. I feel like me and Green should do like an actual playthrough where
Oh, we talked
like
about that
I
co-op.
comment.
What's it called? The tag,
Yeah,
the death,
because
the death
because
Nuzlocke.
well no, because Meryl and I had talked about doing a Soul Link, and then Green and I had talked about doing a Soul Link, and I said I have to wait until
What if we did a triple
I
Soul
can't
Link
remember
with
what
all
it's called.
three of us?
Oh,
I mean, I think
I'm never
generally
gonna
that
have
would be
any Pokemon alive.
You think we're that
yeah.
bad at
I think it
Pokemon?
would be easier. I feel like though, like I'm better at commentary than playing, and I don't want somebody to lose a Nuzlocke.
Dude, wait, dude, it's okay. We'll have a race. We'll make it a speed run. It's okay.
But if we're
Well,
Nah,
hold on,
speeding
no,
that would
through
be
because
it, the
me
fair.
and
odds of
Meryl,
failing go up
hold
quite a
on though.
bit.
To be fair, I did promise Meryl already the Soul Link, so me and Green can have like a versus.
Oh no.
We could do
You're
a
saying this
versus.
after you already said no more Pokemon content.
Right, okay, but my point is because I already promised Meryl the Soul Link. Like we already, whenever he wants to do it, I told him like I'm down. But
Well,
like
I'd have to move. I'd
Green
have
and
to
I
mark
don't
it
know.
around my college schedule because this year for college is going to be pretty busy for me.
Yeah, that's what I said though. Like after you get settled down, maybe college settles down, whatever, we can do it. Like it doesn't matter if it's this year, next year, whenever. Like I want like our first, like I want to be your first Soul Link, no homo. That sounds really gay. Oh my god. Okay, no, but like for real, I want to like that could be like a dope experience because I've only ever done a Soul Link with Maya with Shimigami Tensei, never Pokemon.
Wait, you
But
can do
like
a Soul
that
Link
doesn't mean that
with Shin Megami Tensei? How would that
yeah,
work?
you basically you both have to get the first encounter. They can be in the same area, but they can't be the same demon. And when it's time to fuse, when one person fuses, the other person has to fuse as well. So you can really screw someone over in their team strategy.
Huh.
It really sucked. But my point is Green and I can still do a versus.
I mean, I'm down for anything, whether it be Pokemon or not. Just having fun with the game, I'm down for it.
The only thing is that I can't do like anything from the DS because I'm gonna be obviously playing it on my phone. So it has to be like Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color. So what, Gen 1, 2, 3, and then the remake.
Mm-hmm.
And we would have to, for a versus, correct me if I'm wrong, you either have to play, like if you're playing red, the other person has to be playing blue or red version. And then you both have to, it's whoever can get to the Elite Four first.
You don't have to play the
whoever
opposite
wins.
of the game, but as long as you're playing within like the same generation, so like as long as you're both playing like Fire Red and Fire Red, that'd be fine, or Red and Red. It doesn't have to be like Red and Blue or Fire Red and Green. It would make it look nice.
So my question is, what would you want to play?
I don't know,
I've
man.
never played through the original first two generations. Actually, I mean the first generation. I've never
Okay.
completed a first gen game.
So that means you and I are soul linking Gen 1 because I'm gonna walk
Do
you
you
through that
do you
one.
want to
But
lose?
as far as
Do you want to lose?
See,
absolutely,
I'm-
I'm always down for losing.
I'm afraid of like
Hold on, wait.
completely dominating you. Like, should I take it easy?
Whoa, whoa.
Okay,
whoa.
he is
Excuse
a
me?
veteran of Pokemon. You think he's going down that easily? Like he's a veteran.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you, like the
Are we
only
talking-
way I ever win Nuzlocks, and Pokemon White 2, my Nuzlocke proved this, is if I say screw it and solo run. And make no mistake, if it comes down to winning, when it comes down, because this isn't gonna be one of those things where it's like, oh, because everybody said that. I used to Nuzlocke SMT games and always lose. I beat Maya in the verses because it's competition. I will kick your butt.
What do you do? With
I
my
will
starters?
solo run that whole thing.
What do you do if my starter's Mewtwo then?
Are you gonna do it a randomizer?
Is it gonna be
I mean, that depends.
randomizers are generally a lot more fun, but at the same time they're a lot more bullshit.
Yeah, but no, but then my problem is the randomizer. Let me tell you what the issue is that then he could get a Mewtwo and I can get stuck with a Weedle. Okay?
What
And if that
what we could do if it gets too bad is we could look at our starters and then give each other a number,
Fucking
and then tell the
hell.
person to choose a number. So like I can't just outright choose a Mewtwo.
Or what you
No,
could do is
no,
I
because
could choose, like I could set you guys up with some pre-made save files with things that are already there to make it fair.
I mean, we could always
That
set the
is
starters for
good point.
basic. So like they're always a baby evolution that evolves.
Right.
actually no, that would also be really bad. And I can actually explain to you why. Because at that point, if they're baby Pokemon don't take damage anywhere near as well.
Right.
Like it sucks, but it's the truth. Like they don't take damage anywhere near as well. They have really inferior stats. I'ma just be honest, I don't think that that's a good idea. You would honestly, like, as weird as this might sound, you would probably literally be better. Like, I'm gonna be honest, you would probably be better off just doing the basic starters and like a non, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just because my problem is, like, let's say we start right, and let's say I end up getting a Mewtwo. How would it be fair to him, right? I don't know. I don't think it's right. I wouldn't feel right.
We could always just say don't choose the legendary starter if you have one.
No, because if you don't think I'm gonna choose the legendary starter, you out your mind.
Fair.
If I get the opportunity, I'm gonna be honest, dude. If I get the opportunity, I'm picking a legendary starter. I give no shit.
As long as it's on a Nuzlocke,
That's
right?
the problem.
Like your rule is that you don't like using OP Pokemon and like Nuzlocks and shit.
Yeah, because then it gets to the point where it's like, okay, but that's what I'm saying. If it's a versus and it's first two, versus has to be a Nuzlocke. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, for all you know, you can get a legendary and then be pitted against a bunch of legendaries and lose it. To be fair, we don't know anything that would happen. But you know, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. A legendary, if some guy gets lucky to get a legendary and all they get is utter trash the battle, they can just outright destroy the game.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, it really wouldn't be fair. Okay, so let me put it to you this way. First gym comes up, right? And let's say we're doing Gen 3 and he has Kyogre. Okay? And she come with her pathetic little rock Pokemon or whatever Pokemon she has. It doesn't really matter because you got legendary stats, homie. Like, You know, it wouldn't really be fair because how am I supposed to be versus that? Like he outclasses me.
It'd be
You know what I'm
different.
saying?
Right.
Yeah, it'd be different if you caught it because it's really hard to catch a legendary. So if you caught one, I would say okay. But starting with one could be a problem.
Say I'm on really good pace. I'm at the 4th shrine, and I'm under 30 minutes.
Noise.
I don't know what that means. I haven't speed run that.
Well, the ultimate goal, you know what the Great Plateau is, right?
I vaguely remember.
So the ultimate goal is get through the Great Plateau in as little time as possible.
Let's go see what this has. Okay.
And somebody did it in 12 minutes?
Yeah, 13 minutes. All 4 shrines, and got the paraglider.
I don't know how.
Because
I have no
because
clue
you
how.
can do things called BTBs and wind bombs. I'm not the best at them, so I'm not using them yet. But
I guess that works, I suppose. Oh, looks like, let me see. Yeah, my upload only has 69 minutes remaining. That's pretty cool.
But yeah,
Yep. Anyways, y'all, it's already 11 here on the East Coast. I'm ready
Yep.
for bed.
Yeah.
I'm probably not like because of my nerve damage in my right leg. I'm probably not gonna hardly sleep tonight. I already know it. I don't know why, but today it's acting up.
that's no good.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
Oh.
rough night's sleep.
Hopefully you get some sleep.
Man, I'm just glad. I was like, dude, I'm locked out of my Discord. I'm locked out of everything. At least I have my channel.
Oh, I thought you said you're glad about that. Like, oh, I'm so glad I can't see any of you. No one's here to bother me.
No, I was mad. I said mad, but like at least I still have my YouTube channel, even though I
You got
lost my
back into
Facebook,
it?
my yeah, but I had to reset the password and all this other stuff. So, not another channel. I'm not starting another channel. What did you know?
Hey,
Damn.
let's see how long it lasts.
Yeah, let's see how much longer it lasts. It's
think
time
I
for a
have
reset,
anything.
anyways.
I don't think I have anything up. I don't think I have anything up on the channel, do I? Oh, the Purple Rodri video
Yeah,
is
that's
up.
Did you take down everything else, or did YouTube take them all down?
No, I'm pretty sure I privated everything else. Um, oh no, wait, there is one other video, the Jubilee one.
Mm-hmm.
That one should still be up, is it?
No, it's not.
You sure?
Yeah.
It should still be up. Check back on my channel real quick.
I
Hold
have.
up.
It's
It
not up
should be
anymore.
still up.
Okay, with
Well, I know I had a strike
no,
against it, but it should have been
you do
resolved.
have the Jubilee up here. The slanders
Yeah,
against
I was
Rush
gonna say that
151.
that
Yeah,
strike that was made against it, the strike that was made against it got resolved. So there's no way that it's still up,
yeah,
or that it's not up.
yeah. You have the Jubilee and you have the Purple Rodri sexual
Well, last I
assault one.
checked, the Jubilee one wasn't up anymore.
No, Green is saying it's there. Let me see.
Huh.
Let me actually
Last
check
week when I looked,
on
it
my
wasn't
other
there.
new YouTube.
I could always share my
Hold
screen to
on.
show you guys, but
No, there's no need. I'm literally about to check right now. So hold on. Let me see. Here we go. No, actually, it is already. Yeah, here it is. Jubilee is up on there, and so is Purple Rodri.
Huh.
Yep, I'm literally watching now. Oh, the comments are gone from it, I think. Nope, no, they're not.
I like
So
how
everything's still there.
I like how Two Buddies is all fucked up saying you only have one video on your channel, but I go to videos and you have two. Thanks, Two Buddies.
Let me see. Purple Rodri. Purple Rodri's still up too.
Yep.
I heard. Just give me a
Yep.
minute.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit! I have a playlist of music. What's in that bitch?
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, why does he have a playlist of music?
I didn't question
Like-
it. I just thought that was normal for you.
Not really.
And I believe that is time. 34 minutes, 58 seconds.
Yo, that's actually a better time. No, yeah, this is my like country playlist music bullshit. Except I have like a Panic at the Disco song. I've got a Rammstein versus Lady Gaga. The rest of it is just country music. That's pretty accurate. Why isn't Honky Tonk Badonkadonk in that? That should be a private playlist though. Let me private that. You guys don't need to see my music taste. But yeah, I mean, I still think it's pretty
Let me
cool. Should I
check to see
subscribe
where
to
I am on the leaderboard
myself?
with this.
Wait, why do I have 57 subscribers?
Because you made the big
I thought
videos.
I had Oh, I thought I only had like maybe 50.
Hey guys, I went from 220th to 212th in the world.
Bro,
Nice.
if you could drink, I'd give you a beer.
If we were in
That is
Wisconsin, you could
actually-
give me a beer.
That's actually a good point. Yeah, if you were Wisconsin. Anyways, all right, y'all. I'm gonna probably
Alright, I'm
head
gonna go
off
eat
to
too.
bed.
I'm gonna go eat. So
Yeah, I was gonna head off too.
I'm like heckin' tired, but definitely, dude. I'll jump in on a